Not going to happen. She has no cultural frame of reference. That's why you see so many of our youth turn to the streets, because the education they receive is not the education that they need. We need to improve the amount of black male teachers. We need to improve the amount of black female teachers for those who are conscious. Because you can be black and not be about black people. Okay? And so we have to be very clear about that. Now, we have to build our own schools, elders and young folk. We have to build our own schools. Our children globally are at the bottom of the list compared to everybody. Look at the African children in UK, United States, Africa, the Caribbean, Central and South America. Compare their academic scores to the East Indian, the Arab, the Anglo-Saxon, and compared to all those groups, the Korean, the Chinese, we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom. And we're going to stay at the bottom until we teach our children ourselves. Now the sick situation is what? You here in the United Kingdom and us in the United States, we make enough money, although we're not rich. We have enough disposable income where we could build our own schools for our own children. There's no excuse for them to be in the public school system being miseducated. We can teach them that. Okay? We have to teach them that, because reading, math, science, language, and social studies is not a complete education. It is not. Our children have to be taught how to run their own business. They must be taught financial literacy. They must be taught agricultural science, how to feed themselves. Because many of us, including myself, regardless of how many college degrees we have, and I have 6, we are still pretty illiterate when it comes to being able to make your way in the world. Whether we have a high school diploma, or a bachelor's degree, or a master's degree, or a doctorate degree, we still work for white people. We don't work for ourselves. We were brought here to be slaves, and we still slaves. I don't care how many degrees you got, how much money you got, or where you live. 9 out of every 10 Africans on this planet serve white people. Some of us are content. I'm not. Because when your bread and butter is controlled by another man, so is your livelihood on this earth, as well as how long you're going to be around. Now, my speech comes from a Pan-African paradigm, because I'm a student of the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. I am a Garveyite, former Minister of Education of Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association. So there's a lot of things I just don't tolerate. I don't tolerate black people making excuses for themselves. I don't tolerate black people relying on European governments to change problems that the government started. If they created mass incarceration, why would they stop it? If they created mass unemployment, why would they stop it? Many of your black men here in the United Kingdom are in the same condition as in the United States. Mass unemployment, can't find a job, even if they're educated. That is by design. Because if you are miseducated and you are economically castrated, that sets the framework for you to end up a criminal. A criminal. Criminals are not born, criminals are made. I've never been in jail a day in my life. But give me a miseducation and then don't give me a job. I'm automatically forced to do what? Commit crime. And unfortunately, some of us in the African community look at our young people like something wrong with them. All due respect, something wrong with us. Because children don't fall far from the trees that grew them. And the raising of an African child is not just the responsibility of their mother and their father. Too often we like to make it real simple. I'm not his mother, I'm not his father. That is nonsense. Because in Africa we believe that it is the village that raises the children. So when a child doesn't have a job, when a child is miseducated, when a child is out there robbing and killing and stealing and having babies that they're not taking care of, we all at fault. Myself included, nobody's exempt. So the question becomes, how long do we wait before we start to build those schools that our children need? They're crying out for them. I was at a forum today after I spoke to the children. I asked them to raise their hand. Who wanted to go to an independent African school? I think every hand went up in there. So even our children know that the school system has nothing for them. But we would rather spend our extra money on vacations and nice clothing and nice cars and all this other stuff while our children go to hell. And when you study human history, you find that any people who are not concerned about the destiny of their children get no respect. His Excellency, the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey said what? If the black man and woman are not careful, you will drink in all the poison of Western civilization and you will die from the effects of it. Mr. Garvey said the greatest weapon used against the Negro is disorganization. We are disorganized. Whether it's New York City, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Baltimore, whether it's Birmingham, Bristol, London, Luton, we're disorganized, you're disorganized, the Caribbean is disorganized, and Africa is disorganized. Now, who has to take the lead to reverse this condition? UK and US. You say, why us? Why not Africa? You got 1 billion people over there. There's only a couple million of us. Why are we the ones who got to take the leadership role? Because you are the most educated African on earth, and you are also the most financially stable African on earth. In order for us to improve the mother continent, we have to improve our condition. Now, many of us would say, why talk about Africa? I've been in the United Kingdom. My great-great-grandma came over here. I'm not concerned about Africa. Well, guess what? As Africa goes, so goes you. There's no destiny or future for black people without Africa. None whatsoever. Whenever you want to get rid of a species, you find the mother nest of the species, and once you terminate the mother nest of the species, how easy is it to get rid of the left of them in Britain, the left of them in the United States, the left of them in the Caribbean? Africa is waiting on us, because people, when I was last in Nigeria, the Chinese man has bought up the entire chicken market of Nigeria. So when a black man in Nigeria was to go and buy a chicken, he'd get it from a damn Chinese. Is that acceptable to you? Isn't it amazing that no matter where we live, whether it's Africa, where we're in the majority, the Caribbean, where we're in the majority, United States and UK, we're in the minority, and the Asians still control our economy, even in Africa. In Jamaica, they run it. Senegal, they run it. United States, they run it. Even here, I come here and I open my eyes and say, damn, it's the same thing. How do we let the East Indian come in and rob us? The Asian come in and rob us. We buy everything from them. They buy nothing from you. Nothing whatsoever. So I don't come here as a radical, my elder brothers and sisters. I come here as a black man with common sense. I done been to all the white universities. So you're not dealing with some fool. Okay? I'm a psychologist in private practice. I'm a very high international renown. You just don't know me because I'm not on your television. They will never put me on your television. Okay? But I'm coming here to say that we have to organize ourselves or we won't have no future. And the problem is slavery taught us to be content with having nothing. In fact, sometimes we make a religion out of having nothing. Blessed be the poor. They wasn't talking about the poor financially. They was talking about spiritually. God don't want you to be broke. Money is not the root of all evil. Do you know what the root of all evil is? Not having any damn money is the root of all evil. Who you running from in your neighborhood? People with money or people without it? Money ain't the root. It's needing it and not having it. Our children are crying out for our leadership. They want it. Why do you think we have gangs all through the UK? A gang is a surrogate family, black people. If I don't have a mother and a father with rules and discipline and structure, I crave it as a child. It's natural. It's God-given. So if you ain't going to raise me, I'm going to go to the streets and let them raise me. When children have healthy families, they don't join gangs. When children have mothers and fathers who are accountable to them, they don't join gangs. Whenever you see a child in a gang, you know that was a community who failed. I'm not going to say mom and dad, because it's not easy being a parent today. We are up against a whole lot. I'm not going to single out a mother and blame her for her son going wayward. I'm not going to blame a sister for her son going wayward. Guess who I'm going to blame? All the black men in the neighborhood who saw him growing up and chose not to spend any time with him. There's nothing normal about an African woman trying to make a man out of an African boy. You can't do it. It takes men to help you. So I don't blame single parents who are doing the best they can. I don't blame married parents who are doing the best they can. I blame the whole community. So what is keeping us from getting a little bit further than where we are? Self-hatred. Black people love to fight each other. You know what I am talking about. Marcus Garvey said we are cursed with petty differences. He said if we don't have a reason to fight, we will find one. You're from America. I'm from the UK. You're light-skinned. I'm dark-skinned. You're educated. I'm